Hi everybody, Matt and Tom back with you. Well, today we're at a place called the Cheesden Valley. Now the Cheesden Valley is not dissimilar to valleys that we've visited before on these videos, things like Gorpley Clough, Jumblehole Clough and the Colden Valley. Because around the same time here at the Cheesden Valley, they harnessed the power of the water running through the valley and built mills. However, unlike those three valleys, this one in the 17th to 18th century had a roughly 15 mills in it from top to bottom and employed over 2,000 people. Now most of those mills vanished in the 19th and early 20th century, and there hasn't been one here for at least 110 years. But there are some ruins, so today we've come to have a look on a very grey, soggy day. First mill is just at the bottom. Let's go find it. Okay. So, first mill today is not the first mill of the 15. That was further up the valley. There were a couple of mills higher than here. But the one that remains, this wall, is a Cheeseden Lum Mill. Now this was built, I think, around 1780s, 1790s, and it was a fulling mill. So it was cotton that was being made into felt, and that's what they made here. So, as you can tell by the look of it, it's obvious that these places have been abandoned for 120 years, and quite a lot of damage is caused by water when it floods. Obviously we're next to the river, and water wheels would power these mills, but if it flooded, the water would do damage to the mills and to the buildings. A bit similar to a situation at Jumblehole Clough with Stokes Mill. But yeah, when you look up Cheesden Valley, this is likely to be the picture of the mill that you see. It's just the first one today. So this is the front of the mill, and look at that, look at the waterfall. Absolutely stunning location. No telling quite how deep this water is, because it's very cold, because there's a tree in it. So we're not swimming today. But what a spot! You can imagine coming here on a hot day. Wonderful picnic location with nothing else. There we go, the fantastic Cheeseden Lum Mill. let's go find our next mill en route in Cheesden Valley. So we follow the river down the valley. We will find remnants of mills en route, but some of them are only like a bit on the floor, like 3 or 4 bricks or stones, and I won't know the names of those, but I'll show you them as we go. So like this one, I don't know what the name of this one is, but there will be maps available showing what all 15 of the mills were. Yeah, there's not much left here. I think this might have been a wheel pit for this mill, especially with the water running through it. So the weather is not being kind to us at all. It's absolutely lashing it down at the minute. We have slightly gone off track, but we are now back into the Cheesden Valley. Unfortunately, because of the weather, obviously it's difficult having the phone out filming, but we will film what we can. I might be blurry, but we'll try. Am I still there? Every so often we also find some dams and lakes, which would obviously collect from the running streams and rivers, and therefore give kind of a backup to the mills, which I think we may well come across another one in a minute. So yes, I think this is another one of those mills that have very little left. There's just rubble here. You can see some steps. May have been here before, but yeah, not much left. Well, Tom's just reminded me that actually there were cottages here as well, so these could potentially be a former row of cottages. So yeah, more steps again. Yeah, I would say these are former cottages. Happy to be corrected if I'm wrong. So we're obviously in an old quarry as well. Not sure if there was any mining here, potentially. What there is at the moment though is lots of mud. Right, next mill ahead of us in the woods. And we find Deeply Vale Print Mill. So we will head down and look at these ruins in a minute. I think this is again another wheel pit. Let's see. God. So obviously another mill that's been gone for well over a century, and not much of it left. There's still this fairly good construction in the middle, but the site itself is huge. You can see the walls going around the end. Let's see if we can get inside this one. Okay. Not much to see, is there? Just to the other side. Oh, spiders. Literally, just the other side. That's weird. It's just a wall that's left then, essentially. Wow. And again, you can see how big this place would have been. So we're back in what I presume is the water wheel pit. It's still in quite good condition. Tom's found another tunnel up there. Let's go and have a look. Oh wow. Yeah, I'm not sure I can fit down there, despite being a hobbit. So this must have been a huge mill. There's quite a few chunks of it left. Because I haven't quite told you what this mill is yet. This was the Deeply Vale print mill. And what they would do here is with cotton, they would dye the fabric different colours, hence the word print. They were printing blocks of colour onto fabric, cotton. And I think at that time they had all the 5 colours. So that's what went on here. So kind of in the middle of the mill tour at the moment. I don't know quite what else we'll find in the valley in terms of the other mills until we reach the bottom. I think there's a chimney to go. But yeah, this one, again, you can tell it's been empty for quite some time. These ruins with the moss growing over them, it's quite atmospheric. Right, so we leave Deeply Vale print mill behind. Head down the path again. This looks like we may have more remains just around the corner. And right on schedule, more remains. Not sure if this is really big enough to be a mill, though it may have stretched further than this. Yeah, not much to see here. Press on. Next mill in the distance. You can see the chimney sticking out the top of the trees. Okay, so what I would suggest is if you're doing this walk in the near future, you may well need waders and walking sticks. However, we have reached the chimney. So you can see the remains of another mill right here. So is there an entry to the chimney? I would suggest, sadly, not. So unfortunately, it's the easiest.
What isn't?
So unfortunately, there is no way into the chimney, and also unfortunately, somewhere en route, I've lost my notes, and I can remember the names of all the other mills apart from this one. have a feeling somewhere amongst it is the word lane, but forgive me. I'll try and, if I can find it, I'll add it to the bottom in word form. So yeah, once again, it's just, you know, groundworks really, not much left here. What I do know and what I can remember from my notes is that this was the last mill to close, and this one closed I think 1919 or 1909. It's one of those two, but even if it's 1919, this was the last mill and it's over a century since it was closed, so that kind of shows you how old the others are. The sun has suddenly come out. It feels good. Sorry we've not been able to show you too much of the walk itself today. Rather we've just shown you the mills. I don't see the chimney one behind me somewhere. Purely the weather. Just thought it was best to keep the camera out of the way of the rain. Strangely, of course, now it's a glorious day as we head towards the end of it. We're going up and over the hill here. My last mill to show you today is Ashworth Mill, and as I mentioned, all these mills at one point have been powered by water, and Ashworth Mill, I think, still actually has the remains of water wheel. The reason all these mills eventually disappeared is mills became steam powered, and therefore water mills became redundant. That's why they're no longer here. Heading up and over this hill. We are the Cheesden Valley below us. So this is the view at the top of the hill. Fantastic. You might be able to make out there's a tower on a hill over there. I think that's Bury. Not sure what the tower's called. You can see the valley we've walked through. The distance, Manchester. And in the distance here, lovely Tom. On possibly the steepest hill we've been on today. We're now heading down to Ashworth Mill. So we're now in the woods, and there are more mill ruins here, but this isn't Ashworth Mill, this one. I'm not sure what this one is. Sorry, Heron. Right, unfortunately guys, we lost Ashworth Mill. We were following the river. We couldn't cross the river, so I think somewhere we lost it. So it's not quite the same. There's a nice little pillbox here. What I'll do is put some pictures on of Ashworth Mill. There's a nice waterfall, as I say, the water wheel. But unfortunately that's going to have to be for a return visit. So, it's been a very muddy day. I hope you've enjoyed this little walk through the valley. Remember, there's lots of these kind of valleys around, things like Lumbert's Clough, etc., as well as Jumblehole Clough, lots of different ones. So yeah, they're good pieces of history. So in the meantime, we're going to be on the road next time, I think, over Easter holidays. Tom, did you know there was 91 pubs in Tonbridge?
Wow, way.
Amazing. Can we find them all?
Can we drink in them all?
That will be the last video. Take care guys, we'll see you soon. Bye for now.